All righty, let's see. Actually live or not? Yes. Oh my gosh. Hello, greetings. So I can see that I'm live on Facebook and now live on Instagram. There's a bit of a delay. I'm live on Instagram in vertical mode. Hello, friends. Greetings. I'm going to get started in just a couple of minutes. I am running an encore of my Stop the Madness training. Hi, friends on Instagram. I see you. Yes, we are using Restream to see all the folks. Hi, friends jumping in. Wow, you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to be leading in just a couple more minutes. I'll get started here. This is going to be the encore of my Stop the Madness training. Stop the Madness. Social media is broken. AI-driven content is out of control. Tear our hair out. Learn how to grow your business in 2026 without selling your soul. It's a cacophony out there. It's a lot of chaos. So, and let me go to my chat. Beautiful. Welcome in. Perfect, perfect. Hello, hello, friends. Couple more minutes and we'll just jump right in. I'm going to share my desktop. I've got a lot planned for you. Yes, good. We're live in all the right places. It's working. The technology's working. Hello, Sheena. Oh, my Auntie Sheena over there in Canada. Oh, wait a minute. You might be in Florida now. You snowbird. Lovely. Okay, perfect. So I know I rarely ever go live on Instagram, but why not? I'm going to hit the recording and we'll jump right in. Welcome in. So I'm actually, and let's get the AI companion going too. Oh, okay. I think it's already going. All right, we're gonna just start a couple minutes early. So it's Mari Smith here coming to you from lovely Ashland, Oregon. I've been here 2.5 years. Before that, San Diego, California, for 24 years, something like that, 23 years. And but I'm Scottish Canadian. I was born in Canada to Scottish parents. 12 years in Canada, 20 years in Edinburgh, Edinburgh, Scotland. So I'm also doing this as a live Zoom. So anybody here's in the Zoom, welcome in, welcome in. And we're just getting started early a bit here. I'm streaming, ambitiously streaming on my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, my YouTube, LinkedIn, and I think maybe even, no, I didn't do X. I X'd out X because I decided not to. But I am on Instagram, which is really fun because I'm really like it's such a tight frame. I'm like this much of my face, my nose is streaming live on Instagram. What you gonna do? All right, welcome, welcome in, and I should be able to see the. Yeah, I can. So Joe Fagan, hello Joe. Joe's on Facebook and then on the Zoom. We've got folks here. Hi, Jennifer, darling. Oh, good to see you again, honey. I just barely saw your DM a minute ago. Heinz, and Johnny, Jerry, John, Karen, Lynn, Mark, Sandra. Hi, yeah. Tara, beautiful. Okay, so then if you're tuning in on any of the other platforms, whatever, I like to push the envelope and be an experimenter. Some of you have been following my human design conversations know that about me. I'm a 1-3, the third line. This learns by trial and error, experimentation. You jump in, you figure it out. Wow, that didn't work. Okay, try again. But today it is working. So welcome in, welcome back. I know some of you were here for the first round of this particular free live training, and that was, yeah, if you've got an AI companion, you can add it to my Zoom. I don't mind. And hi, Tanya. Oh, it's so nice to see you, darling. Stream like a boss. Yeah, yes, you do stream like a boss. um, yeah, so just do something real quick. I'm going to go like this, and if anybody wants to join, uh, you're welcome. Welcome to spell. Okay, doke. Hop on the live Zoom. I'm just going to pop that in there. Yeah, I see in a perfect world that my AI assistant would just do this bit for me. What the heck, right? But yeah, so there's a Zoom link if anybody wants to join. Yep, no problem to bring your note takers in. Join on Zoom if you wish. And then I'm just going to share this into my Social Scoop group. Okay, perfect. All right, excellent. Yay, everything's working. The tech's working. I like my feather top. I haven't worn this in a wee while, so why not? Hey, you know what? The holidays are coming, so it's glam time. I thought I'll put my glam face on. Why not, right, Tanya? You got to do it. Okay, friends, welcome. Welcome back. If anybody tuned into my first round of this last Wednesday, a week ago. Beautiful. Oh, Mark, you're so kind. Yes, maybe one day we'll make that happen. Mark Laurie, he's a phenomenal photographer up in Canada, right? He said you'd be a delight to photograph. I'm actually looking for a new photo shoot. We've got someone from Finland here, Mirka. Germany's in the house. Hi, of course. Yes. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and let's just see how this works with our Instagram. You guys can see it now. Okay. Oh, you know what? There's a bit of a delay. I have to make sure I stay centered. Maybe I'll come back and check it to see how the Instagram shows when I'm sharing my screen. You can broadcast in landscape. Any of you brilliant streamers. Tanya, do you ever stream to Instagram as well? I know you're mostly doing a Substack. What's that thing called? Yeah.
Yep, I do Substack, but yeah, I do landscape, mostly vertical though in Instagram.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I imagine it doesn't always work if you're sharing your screen though, right? You just see it all cut off. Okay, not to worry. Well, welcome, friends. If you haven't heard me speak before, I just kind of mentioned at the beginning, if you were, or the pre-beginning, I am Scottish, Canadian, and Californian, although I can't really say Californian anymore because I left it. I guess I'm Californian and Oregonian. But yeah, I got 3 passports and life is good. I feel very blessed to be navigating these crazy waters right now that we all are. So I've got some sense making for you. I have been since 2007 one of the leading Facebook marketing experts. And in the last 5 years, my passion is studying the human design system, and I became a certified analyst. My book, The New Relationship Marketing, came out a very long time ago, and honestly, I really think it's probably time to bring out a new version of that because we've got the new relationship marketing, which is oh, that's funny. Yeah, I can see it. I can see my my Instagram. I'm laughing. Sorry, Instagrammers. They're only going to see a portion of my screen. Okay, Tanya, real time help. Do you know how to change from vertical to landscape on Restream? I bet there's a way. I thought there was just a button.
Yeah, there's a little, do you see like an orientation, a display, a little icon somewhere on your Restream on the
Oh,
bottom?
on the Restream, right? Not
Yeah,
on
it's on
the.
Restream. And I don't know that you can change once you're in midstream.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not letting me click on it. Yeah. Okay. Oh well. Friends watching. Whatever. I'm laughing because I'm just such an experimenter. Okay, friends, not to worry. So, yeah, I feel like bringing out a new version because what's changed is AI, right? The new relationship marketing, see, relationship marketing, where you're focused on developing long-term relationships with your audience, your prospects, your customers, your clients. It's not transactional. The opposite of relationship marketing is transactional. It's about, getting the sale, closing the deal. How can I close them? It's a numbers game. I just get enough numbers. No, it's about deeply caring about human beings, individuals. Whether they buy from you today, tomorrow, next week, or next year, you're developing those relationships with them. Good. I can hear myself building up the energy for this. I think there is a new book in there, the new version of how the heck do we create relationship marketing with AI now? Very passionate about empowering others and building community and authenticity and transparency. Oh my God, I get on my high horse about it, my soapbox, because there's just so much AI fakery right now. It's intense. So The rise of AI. Who can tell me in the chat? Oh, thank you, Tanya, darling. I appreciate you. Um, who can tell me when ChatGPT blasted onto the scenes? What year was that? Okay, great. Thank you. And you can let me know. November 22 says CT, founder of AI Twin. Oh my God, CT. Is that really you or is that your AI twin? Kristen says 21. Yeah, it's really you. Okay. It was 23. October? October 23? Yeah. So really, I mean, AI has been around what since like the 50s, but this generative AI massively blasted onto the scenes when Sam Altman's company, OpenAI, brought out and I'll just periodically hop off of screen shares, give my Instagram audience a break. Um, Blasted onto the scenes with this chat GPT, this generative AI. And unbeknownst to many of us, of course, what the heck? Where did they get all this information? They're just like sucking up everything to train. Like you're familiar with a LLM as a large language model. Think of this giant vat, this big repository that has everything ever said and done and printed. And the generative AI goes in there and picks from it, selects from it. It's not really like intelligent, except of course they're working on all kinds of things now, right? Bringing out like sentient beings, robots. Heinz, first time using ChatGPT, December of 22. 22. Oh, 22, 24. Yeah, yeah, I guess it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was October, November, fall of 22. Thank you. So, oh my God, my mind wants to go in a million ways. I get on my high heart, I can feel it rising up. This fierce warrior Scotswoman. What it really triggers me with the way in which there's AI companies are just blazing a trail with no regard for things like copyright and privacy and data protection, except for some if you live in, gosh, is it Denmark? I think Denmark was the first company that's going to allow people to copyright their likeness, your face, voice, your image, your video. Oh my gosh, please, could they do that across the whole world? They won't, not in America. So we got this masses of synthetic content. You guys heard of the word slop? That's generic AI produced content. And I'm not saying all AI produced content is slop. It's not. There's some phenomenal use cases for AI and there's some phenomenal AI content. What slop is those ridiculous memes and I don't know, not a big fan of those baby podcasts or whatever's all the rage now. Last year was shrimp Jesus and just rubbish that people put out in order to get responses, in order to try and game the algorithm. See, this is where we get kind of hooked into social media and we're told, we're entrained, we're deeply conditioned and programmed. The name of the game with social media, any platform, is as maximum eyeballs, reach, views, everything. Get it out there as far as you can, even if it means creating slop. I'm sorry, but I don't agree. So you got the fake videos, fake photos, fake people. It confuses our brains. It creates cognitive dissonance in the head, the mind. It's this reality confusion, thus giving us literally this term, relatively new term called brain rot or AI slop and digital fatigue. It's all compounded by AI. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, Denmark. Love it. Yay, Denmark. So astonishingly, here we are, trying to be authentic in this world where everything is about gaming the algorithm and just getting as far as you can. Yeah, if you're watching me on Instagram, I'm sharing my screen and I'm sorry because I'm broadcasting in vertical and you guys can't see my full slides. Do you see what I mean? Folks watching it elsewhere. But not to worry. Not to worry. Oh, well, lesson learned. See, that's experimenter. Brain rot. Guess what? That is the negative effects of overexposure to shallow, repetitive, or overly stimulating online content. It doesn't even necessarily have to be AI. It's just that addictive scroll when our thumb is just constantly scrolling. All of these social media feeds are psychologically designed to create addiction, to create more, that infinity scroll. And now I'm getting ahead of myself because I got some slides on it with the discovery engine, the AI powered discovery engine that Mark Zuckerberg blatantly copied from TikTok. And now every social platform uses this discovery engine. It's there to get you more drawn in, more addicted, more time on site. So that creates mental fatigue and cognitive overload. Well, guess what? This brain rot word, that actually became word of the year last year in the Oxford Dictionary. Hang on, sip of water. So, yeah, we don't want that. We want to keep our brains healthy and vital and strong. What about curious? Feel free to answer in the Zoom chat. Those of you who are tuned in the Zoom or any on the social platforms, I'll have a peek at the comments there. What feels right for you? How do you feel about having a AI photo shoot done? And there's no judgment here because there's room for everybody. You get to make your own decisions. What's right for you? Have you done a AI photo shoot? Do you feel like you might? And then what about video clones? Have you created a video clone of yourself? And we've got the beautiful Tanya, if she's still here, Tanya Smith. And Tanya does some really cool creations on AI. Curious, not yet, but not opposed. Okay. Yeah, because I do see quite a bit of activity out there when it comes to these photo shoots. Um, People just loving them, the AI photo shoots. Okay, great. Perfect. Helen, thank you. She says, AI can't clone my face. Tanya, thanks, darling. She says, Restream confirmed landscape should have been converted properly so people can see the whole screen on Instagram. Those monkeys. What the heck? Oh, you're the best. Thanks for looking up. I really appreciate it. Cindy says, no AI photo shoot. And I haven't done an AI video clone. The video clone interests me more. Yep, I might do AI photo shoot, says Janet. Now, here's the thing. Guess what? And I will periodically go back and forth with the video and the screen. So just give some variety. Um, Almost a year ago, I was about to choose to invest about $25,000 with an AI agency. And one of my main goals was to have them help me to create a very realistic AI clone and AIify, and my friend Molly Mahoney uses that. I know she's trademarked that. Molly, that's your word. AIify to integrate AI like into my operations better. But I mentioned in the beginning that Miss Relationship Marketer, I'm all about connecting and bonding and communing and creating genuine human interaction, genuine relationships, fostering meaningful trustworthy community. And that's a big part of what I'm going to talk about today in a wee minute here. But anyway, what my vision was with creating an AI clone of myself, very believable one. We're going to look at an example, not of mine, because I haven't done mine yet. And I don't know if I ever will now. But I thought, my gosh, I'm going to go back through all of my most successful, most impactful social media online training courses, Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, social media strategy, content, ads, you name it. And I'm going to refresh them. I'm going to bring them right up to speed, get them ready for, the new year, whatever. And I'm just going to have my clone record all those. But I would never go because I'm so relationship oriented. I wouldn't just go, hey, have at it, and always in transparency and disclosure, hey, this is my clone that's recorded these. But if I did ever do that, I'd be like, okay, with your purchase fee included in the price of this AI produced version, you're going to get some live Q&A with me, live interaction with me, always live. You can't beat live. I'm sorry. I don't care how good AI gets. You can't beat live. Tanya's saying, I love doing both real photo shoots and AI. Well, if I may say so, Tanya, you just have one of those most beautiful faces that lends itself well to both. When I see your AI images and videos in my Facebook feed or stories, I'm like, oh, I know right away it's you. Some of them, like some people put stuff out, it just doesn't even look like them. Mirka, I agree with you. It has to be transparent. Thank you, Sharon, darling. Yeah, I like your approach. So I'm a big fan of including disclosures and watermarks. So many of you will see the bottom of my emails and web pages, I include this content authenticity statement. I will say approximately how much of the content, the written content or image, I don't do too many images, but was crafted with the help of some AI tool. Usually it's going to be ChatGPT. And then the rest written manually by me. And I encourage everybody to have a publicly available AI policy. I'm going to put this is in the Zoom chat, and I will circle back to the social media broadcast that we're doing right now to follow up and give you the link for this as well. Now, what I recommend you do, you see at the very, very bottom here, that the policy is based upon our friends at the Marketing AI Institute Creative Commons document, the Responsible AI Manifesto for Marketing and Business. So I really recommend that you do this. My good friend Paul Reitzer, founder of the Marketing AI Institute, created this many years ago. And you can decide how you're going to go ahead and integrate it in for yourself. Oh, I see. Oh, Tanya, I get it now. Okay. Yeah, thanks. She says it looks great on desktop Instagram. It's mobile. Um, I'll pop Paul's statement in there too. It's at the bottom of my thing. But I really recommend. Does anybody here, let me know in the chat if you actually have a generative AI policy created and published on your site. I would be very curious to know that. So that's that. Now, here's with the clone I'm talking about. Who follows Julia McCoy? I know I'm throwing questions at you. Mark said, no, I had not thought of that, but I will be doing it. I love it, Mark. Yeah. Yeah. Helen, not yeah. Mirka, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Perfect. Tanya does. I love it. Tanya says, this is Tanya Smith. I've got another friend, Tanya, that might be tuning in. Tanya Smith, I'm in the process of updating my manifesto due to Sora usage. I love it, Tanya. Yeah. Mark, you follow Dr. McCoy. Yeah. Cindy, not yet. You're working on it. Okay. So I think if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to click through and we can see Julia's channel here. So this, Julia McCoy, she's really a leader in the AI, really a pioneer in the AI world. And you might want to tune into her videos. So I think I'm just going to turn this volume off though. Of course, we've got to deal with ads and they're going to throw an AI ad at us. I know I see this guy all the time. So this is not Julia. This, oh, wait a minute, back up. Yeah. So she starts, oh God, we get more ad because I clicked backwards. Um, she starts out by she'll always say this is Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's clone. So I love that she's disclosing it right up front. There, digital avatar, right? Digital avatar. Now I remember when she trained this about a year ago, and she went into the studio with about a dozen different outfits, and there's just different ways that you can. I think there's a lot of different. Is it Hey Jen? I think is one of the main tools that you can use to clone yourself, but I think she might be one of the first people ever to get a channel over 100,000 subscribers, predominantly using a clone. So I think kudos to her. Hats off to her. I think it's brilliant. But transparency, exactly. Thank you, North Star. Transparency is so important to support integrity. I 100% agree. Yes. So I'm also a big fan. Now I'm beating my drum of how important it is to include AI clauses in your contract, specifically if you're a speaker, for use of your image, your likeness to protect you. I do have that. As many of you might have seen me sharing this on my Facebook profile. And this is completely copy it, swipe it, do whatever you want with it. It's view only access, and you make your own copy. But working with an attorney, Mitch Jackson, was very gracious in letting us have this clause. There's a long version and a short version. Now, basically, what it is like, look, if you're going to go speak at an event, online, offline, you don't want them to just make up whatever they can, they being the event host, to decide to make up all kinds of versions of you as an image or as a video or put words in your mouth. That's what kind of freaks me out. And then any of you who's on this Zoom, you'll notice I just recently added a generative AI policy specific to Zoom for using AI note takers in particular, because I had some interesting experiences with this where not with myself, but as an attendee. A couple of weeks ago, I was taking a class, and they usually give you the recording, but this particular host teacher, he was teaching the class, and he was using Firefly's AI note taker, and it popped a little message in the chat, which I actually really like when note takers do that. And they, I just realized I didn't start my Fathom, but I didn't because this one's not actually registered. You can't add Fathom when there's a register. People have to register because Fathom can't register itself. But anyway, back to Fireflies AI in this class. What happened is I had to leave the class before it was finished for another commitment, but I had clicked on the Fireflies and it was open in my tab, right? So in the browser, I could see the real-time transcript of this class. I went off to my other commitment and I came back, and sure enough, it had carried on recording, even though I had left the Zoom. And the team, the host, the teacher, and his core team had a post-class debrief, 20, 30 minutes, and it carried on transcribing. And I'm like, oh my God, they have no idea. I'm like this fly in the wall, this curious cat. Did I read it? Of course, I skimmed through what they were saying, but I'm like, oh my God, again, North Star transparency, exactly, right? Again, I come back to this point of like, I just decided to make myself this generative AI policy for my own Zoom. And actually, I don't have no, actually, I know why, because I enabled the AI Zoom companion. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just going to take this question in context from Hal. Hi, Hal. Good to see you. Thanks for this event. Do you feel it's important to also notify participants about the AI assistant running, or rely on the app to do the notifications only? You know, it's a really great question, Hal. And I just feel like in today's day and age, pretty much everything gets recorded. If it's like I'm doing right here today, this is a free public event. Yes, it's being recorded. Well, it's certainly being recorded because it's streaming on all the socials as well. So I am going to be, it's to me, it's very obvious, hey, this is being recorded and this is being streamed. And that's why I've put this policy together, because I literally say here, if you choose to be on camera and or share a comment or a question, know that this may be included in my publicly available replay or recording. That's it. End of story, period. That's as far as I go with that, because, and then I link to my policy, because I'm never going to take, if you come on camera and you ask me a question, I'm not going to then, go into some software and make a clone of you and make you say something you didn't. That's just, I would never do that. And that's not in my policy anyway. So, but yeah, I think you can just rely on the notifications. But if you want to be even more clear, definitely. Okay, so let's segue into this amazing, well, I don't know if it's amazing or not, but it's a pretty mind-blowing statement that Tom Bilyeu, anybody here follow Tom Bilyeu? So he said there's going to be 90% fake AI content by 2027. Not that far away, is it? It's just like a year and 12 months, a year and 2 months, excuse me. And so he said the brutal truth of what's coming. He said this a few months ago. I talked about it in one of my newsletter issues, if you caught that. He said that content is becoming a commodity. I agree with Tom. It really is. I mean, anybody can press a few buttons, crank out content. The trick, of course, I'm not opposed to that. The thing is, the trick is to make it sound more like you, to personalize it. And of course, yes, I know the more that you train, you have your own custom GPTs and you're training it just to sound perfectly like you, then maybe you're golden. Just tell it to ease back on the M dashes and the emojis. And the use of unlock, right? Anytime I see unlock, I like the word unlock. But now ChatGPT has made it so watered down. Everybody says unlock. Guess what? Community is becoming the only moat. Wow. Person to person, real human to human connection. So in 2 years, Tom says there'll be two types of business owners: people who built communities that know, like, and trust them as humans, and then those wondering what the heck happened to their audience. Why did it disappear overnight? That's a pretty bold statement. I don't know if I fully agree with that second one there. I don't think your audience is going to disappear, but they might if they're following you and you haven't been transparent and all your content is just cranked out, automated, and you haven't really bothered to connect with and build trust and build relationships. I'm saying you, nobody here, because my audience wouldn't do that, but people out there who are trying to look for a quick fix and a get rich quick overnight scheme to just, oh my God, have you heard about it now? Oh, you could just press a few buttons and you've got millions of followers and you can monetize it, and YouTube and Facebook will pay you money, and TikTok and whatever. And then it's just like, yeah, what about the relationship? So Tom says the entrepreneurs figuring this out now will own the next content. The ones who don't will watch their audiences vanish into an ocean of AI content. Ouch. Boom. So I like using this slide in many of my talks. This girl with a fire hose, and more so now than ever, we're living in a time of infinite content. Trillions and trillions and trillions of pieces of content flying by our feed at any given moment on all the social platforms. But everybody only has 24 hours a day, the great equalizer. Of course, we're being programmed. I mentioned earlier, these platforms are created as psychologically created to create addiction. So what we're moving from, many of you are familiar with this, but some of you might not be yet. You know how you add someone as a friend back in the day? You know, I've been on Facebook not since the very beginning. They started in 2004, schools only, colleges. 2006, they opened to the public. I joined Facebook on May the 4th of 2007, Star Wars Day, 2007. It was always about you had a friend. Now you're going to see each other's content in your feed. Or you follow someone. Hey, I'm putting my hand up saying, yeah, I'm following. Therefore, I want to see this person's content. Strike out. We are now in what's called the interest graph, or Gary Vaynerchuk calls it the interest media. And where we're rapidly hurtling towards, I would say, is the intent graph. So with all of these massive micro data points, these tech companies, whether it's, YouTube, TikTok, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, they can predict with astonishing accuracy certainly what you might be interested in based on all your interactions, but also what you might be planning. Let's say you're on the market for a car. All of a sudden you start seeing posts about cars, or looking to move or buy a house or buy an engagement ring, or whatever the case might be. Well, the social media business model is absolutely keeping us coming back. Addiction is kind of built right into their model. Eyeballs are monetizable. Their business model depends on it. And with all that constant scrolling and, yeah, just getting us all addicted, comes a dark side. I love this statement by a French philosopher. When you invent the ship, you also invent the shipwreck. Paul Virilio, French cultural theorist and philosopher. So, what do we mean by that? Well, how many of you saw The Social Dilemma? This documentary is on Netflix. You can still get it there. It came out in 2020. If you haven't seen The Social Dilemma yet, I highly recommend that you watch it. It is, especially if you have children. Anybody here have children? Oh my gosh. This would be so good for you to watch with your family. Okay. Closing down a few windows so don't get too many things streaming. Okay, so this is an excellent documentary, and I was doing a talk back in May. I did a keynote at a national mental health conference in Los Angeles. So I was really down the rabbit hole of studying social media addiction and just tech and tech's effect, and how glued we are to our phones and our screens, and the effect that has on our minds and our brains. What I said earlier about the brain rot. And I'm going to watch The Social Network as a Social Dilemma again in prep for this talk. And I was blown away. That was, like I say, back in May. I was blown away by how every word of that documentary is still just as relevant, if not more, in today's times, because the technology that connects us also controls us, manipulates us, polarizes us, distracts us, monetizes us, divides us. It sure does, friends. Um, yeah, controls, manipulates, polarizes, distracts, monetizes, and divides. Um, I really like the voice of Tristan Harris. He's a big part of this film, and he started what it used to be called Time Well Spent, and then he changed it to Center for Humane Tech. Brilliant. You can catch his whole story in there. So I highly recommend you watch that documentary. It's just very sobering. And even for those of us who are in the business of marketing and social media, it's this wake up call to go, oh my God, the monkey mind will justify, oh, but I got to check Facebook. I have to keep scrolling because I need to be up to speed on what's all happening out there. And then before you know it, 40 minutes has gone by and you've just poured a bunch of rubbish into your brain. Chatbots. What about chatbots? There's some pretty heinous stories coming out about chatbots. Heavy chatbot usage is correlated with loneliness and reduced socialization. I really have deep concerns about the youth of today. If they're going to be raised with having digital companions and developing these, I was going to say unhealthy. Is it even possible to develop a healthy relationship with a digital companion? It probably is. So you have to keep reminding yourself this is not real. This is a machine. These things, ChatGPT, it can be very sycophantic. You push back on it. Wait, you got that wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, Mari, you're right. I got it wrong. Well, how about this thing over here? Tells you what you want to hear, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. Um, so this synthetic media is another way of saying AI is created artificially. The A in AI is artificial, right? Or slop just means rubbish content, just anything to get the clicks and the views. I'm not saying that all AI generated content is slop, but how many of you seen like crazy things on Reels, Instagram Reels? Certainly, I see it a lot on Facebook Reels. Something like there's an elderly lady at the front door, and this big grizzly bear, like a massive grizzly bear, comes banging on the door, ferocious and fierce. And all of a sudden, there's the cat and the dog leaps out and jumps on the bear and saves the old lady's life. And it's like, oh. And all these people go, wow, look at that. And you can tell by their comments that they genuinely don't realize that it is fake. And this is really discouraging to me and concerning, because I feel like it's dumbing people down. It's creating a decrease in human intelligence, that people are not being even allowed to think for themselves. And I'm always hovering my finger over that like or love or haha or wow, hug, whatever you want reaction. And then I go, wait a minute, this isn't real. I really appreciate that Sora, at least OpenAI's video slop, I mean, video generators, not all slop, some of it's amazing, that they have the watermark on there. But then, of course, you see this huge surge in all the apps that people want. How do you take the Sora watermark off? No, damn it, the Sora watermark's on there for a good purpose, a good reason. Tanya Smith was saying earlier about the Sora. Yeah, you updating your policy because of Sora. So yeah, and then you've got Meta's vibes. If you go to meta.ai, you'll see their equivalent of Sora. I truly believe, my friends, the more AI we use, the more human we must become. And I saw a great video by Gary Vaynerchuk. I watch some of his stuff now and again. He's definitely a thought leader for 2 decades now in the marketing arena, and longtime industry friend of mine. And he's beating the same drum, which I really appreciate. It's like, become brilliant AI. This is not an anti-AI. This is, yeah, trust your own self, trust your own authority. You're the boss of you. You get to decide, I'm going to use this much AI in my business, and I'm going to be more human over here. Like, I'm never going to delegate my customer service. I want people to interface with a real human, right? So here's an image made in ChatGPT. I asked it for a castle with a friendly looking moat, not too scary. I didn't want any poisonous snakes and ferocious alligators. And remember, Tom said 90% fake AI content by 2027. Content's becoming a commodity. Who can tell me, what is the moat? What does the moat represent? Thanks, Hal. Yeah. Mirka says, in Finnish news, it was reported that a very big portion of the AI produced news and text is not correct or true. I'm not surprised, Mirka. Exactly. Sherry saying, I've seen video with polar bears being saved by fishermen. Yeah, cuddling the baby bear. Lovely sentiment. You're right, but not real. What's the moat? I know you guys know. What is the moat? Can you remember? A little pop quiz. Let's just check on my social chats here, see how folks are doing over there. Tanya, you're the best. You got it. Sharon, yeah, you're paying attention. And Virka and Kiri, yeah, community. Now, the nice thing is, so I'm going to give you in the next again slide some ideas of what the heck does that even mean. Tom is recommending in that same part that he said the brutal truth of what's coming. Optimize for community. Your content, anything you put out there, your live streams, your reels, your text, your images, your carousels, all the things. Got slides coming up about that too. Your content drives people to join your community. Then here's some ideas for community. Live stream. A lot of people have deep, deep fears about live stream. I think it's being on camera coupled with tech. Things can go wrong. What am I going to say, right? We can be like a deer in the headlights. It just takes practice. We got Tanya Smith here. She's a live streaming expert. She streams like a boss. So doing live Q&As on your audience members' biggest challenges, behind the scenes of your decisions, business decisions, real-time problem solving with your audience. And if you really don't like doing the live, then just the engaging, maybe some groups. We'll get to that in a second too. Now, Tom's recommending you can use AI to analyze your community data and just really understand what your audience actually needs. So I think that's a great approach. So what exactly does optimize for community look like? Certainly Facebook groups. How many of you here have a Facebook group? If you run one of your own Facebook groups, it takes a lot of work, but it's so rewarding. I have my social scoop group. Many of you are in my social scoop. It's totally free. It's a private group. I will never make it public. Let it be known. No, 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 no public. If I wanted to have a public group, I would just start a new one. I would never take a private one and suddenly just say, hey, everybody, thanks for all your private contributions. Now we're going to be public. I don't think that's right. But for some people, it will be right. And this is no judgment. I'll talk about alternatives in a moment. And let me just check the chat for the group, Facebook groupers. Nice. Janet runs a group. Helen does. Hal runs a few dozen. Yeah. Hal, you're like the king of Facebook groups. Tanya says live streaming really does help people to see you as a real human and they trust you more. Oh, I could feel that. I feel that in my heart, behind my sternum. I 100% agree, Tanya. People just need to really make friends with the camera and just grab your phone and go live. It doesn't have to be all the fancy lights and camera. It's just about connecting. It's about connecting. What live streaming does is it opens up the whole world to you. You connect with people from all over the world. Sandra's saying a Facebook group, 2 public pages, personal page. Okay, great. And Hal goes live in your communities 3 to 5 times a week. If this old guy can do it, all of us can do it. I love that, Hal. Tanya, okay, great. I'm going to talk about alternatives to Facebook groups. She's saying a group, but not Facebook. Now, there's been a bit of an exodus from Facebook groups. Our good friends, Social Media Examiner, Mike Stelzner, they used to have the Social Media Society, and now it's the AI Business Society. They abandoned their Facebook group and went to this platform called Heartbeat. I think I have that in the next slide. Other ways to create community, live online events. Well, that's what we're doing right now, right? Free, of course, paid. Plus, how about in person? Small local mastermind, a retreat, an immersion, a lunch and learn, a workshop, all kinds of things. Just Sunday past, I led a human design fundamentals workshop, my passion I've been studying for 5 years, for 20 people at this beautiful inn in town. I'm about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes outside of town here, living out in the country. My neighbors are goats, and all I hear at night is crickets. It's very nourishing. I got my 2 acres, my well water, my solar power, not quite off the grid, but I'm not a prepper either. But anyway, sidebars. In person. So I'm going to be leading a retreat in Scotland in August. More details coming. It was meant to be this year, wasn't the right timing, postponed it, August of next year. Those of you going to social media marketing world or the AI business world in Anaheim, I will see you there is that April, I think? Yeah. Coolio. What's that, Hal? You mean face to face? Yeah, really. Getting with people in Aura, live, face to face, IRL. Okay, Mighty Networks is one of my faves. So I've got my superstars. Many of you members over there. I started it several years ago. I will say, in full transparency and honesty, my dear friends, the number one challenge with using a platform other than a Facebook group is you got to get people trained to go to the app, download the app, to go to whether it's the app or the desktop, and pay attention to notifications, have enough content and community and activity that people feel drawn and motivated to come back time and again. And it's a big undertaking. I've done a little bit of it here and there, still have many grand plans for my superstars. I'll be honest, the one main reason I started my superstars, I want to say 2022, was so I could talk more freely about human design, because I didn't want to put human design into too much into my social media audience as they're following me for Facebook and social media. Now, when I led this training last week, a week ago today, there was so much hype and constant ads. I'm sure everybody on the planet and their dog and their mother saw ads for Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi AI Advantage Summit. 3 days, 50 speakers. How to get out of overwhelm. Come to our 3 day, 50 speaker summit. Hey, again, no disrespect. I love these guys. They're awesome. They're just a totally different style. I spoke for Tony Robbins in one of his events a couple of years back. So they use School. How many of you use School? That's a great platform. School is actually really cool. And then you've got a Slack channel. I've got the links here for you. Actually, I'll just pop this one in here. Now, these are going into the Zoom chat. I'll follow up to the social media streams and provide these as well. But you can see you request an invite and you have to fill in. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they do ask for a non like Gmail or Hotmail or Outlook or Yahoo. You have to have a business domain. That I mean any domain, just a domain based email to join. So that's a Slack community that has over 10,000 members, and it's not too crazy. I think I thought it was a brilliant move on their part. One of the main purposes that they have there is to promote the podcast. Every time Paul Raitzer and Mike Caput, they bring out a new podcast issue, the Slack channel is always the first to know about it. And right, Sherry says, I love Slack, very easy to use. I agree. There's the Heartbeat, the Social Media Examiner's AI Business Society. That's a nice platform, simple and easy. Then you've got things like a messenger community. They're actually kind of replacing what used to be the Facebook group chats. You got WhatsApp group, Instagram channel, Telegram, Discord, some of you might use. So yeah, lots of ideas here. The number one thing, like we say, is you need to be able to create that compelling experience so that when people come to your community platform, they feel welcomed in. They feel like, oh, I'm with my peers. I'm with my peeps. There's value here, and it's not overwhelming. Because I think a lot of places, and I won't name names, but a lot of times I go into a community and I'm like, I don't know where to start, and there's too much content here. Not like, so there's lots of free content, but it's almost like my mind wants it in bite-sized chunks. I almost like want a map. I almost like, okay, here's your map of this new community. You are here, and maybe you want to get to here or here or here, and then it's like going to show you some little paths that you could go. Take this course, take this little micro training, or if you want to, find out where your peers are, here, come and introduce yourself and connect with folks. Just an idea for you there. Okay, dokie, we got more to share. Let's see what else I got for you. Okay, so we're going to switch gears slightly here. Beautiful. We're doing awesome on time. Thank you so much again for tuning in. It's just delightful to see your happy, smiling faces. Thanks, Mirka. Yeah, she says the map, a great idea. Actually, before I go on from this, I just, oh, wait a minute. Heinz, have a community on platform. Community. And since 2 years, you find me on school. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Speaking of videos and everything, when I stop sharing, I've got my own video spotlighted, but I'm actually going to take the spotlight off so I can see some of you. Yeah. There's not too many of you are on camera, but I keep seeing your beautiful face there smiling away, Tanya. And I'm like, I'm going to just do that. Okay, then we just start the videos. Okay, that's it. Oh, I thought there was more people on video. Come on video if you want to. Yeah, there's Sherry. Hello, you beautiful peoples. Hal, you funny guy. Oh, you were sideways for a minute. I thought maybe you were standing on your head. Awesome. Okay, great to be with you. All right, back to the program. So, Facebook content options. How many of you run a Facebook page? Well, maybe you could tell me in the chat. Do you run a profile on a page, or just a page, or just a profile? I don't think anybody does just a page. Profile is personal. That's where you have friends. You still can only have up to 5,000 friends, but now I personally would strongly recommend you enable professional mode. You get access to so many more cool features. You can boost post, you get metrics, eligible for the bonus programs if that's important to you. And then you can have unlimited followers. Then, of course, you've got your group, which you mentioned, and maybe you do events. And I put marketplace as a possibility. I don't really know if that would be part of your marketing mix per se, but it could be. Yeah. So let's see. Helen has a profile only. Sherry has a Facebook page. Tanya has a page, but you do more in your personal in pro mode. Exactly. As I'm seeing a lot of folks do, is choosing to predominantly use the professional mode profile and just a wee bit on the page. Mirka profile and page, Janet profile page group. Yep. Housing several. Pro mode for sure. Yeah. Heinz profile and group. Perfect. Sherry, just real quick, I believe membership.io has the map capability. Ooh, I'll have to look into that. Sounds intriguing. And lovely. I'm glad that Sandra mentioned this. She's saying I keep my personal page for family, personal profile. It would be personal profile for a family, and then you have two business pages. See, that's a totally other approach. You can totally do. I think the vast majority of Facebook users do exactly that. They have no interest in this thing called promo. They're not on Facebook necessarily for business. They're there to connect with their friends and family. And you got the Dunbar 150. That's like the average number of people that people can really be friends with and know. So vast majority of Facebook users have a few hundred friends maybe, and they don't have any interest in this promo thing. Now look at the content options. You've got posts. This is across the board, pages, profiles, groups, events even. Reels, photos, text. You can share your own posts, other people's posts, of course. And then you've got stories. I really recommend you make good use of stories. I know they disappear every 24 hours, which is a real royal pain, but that actually is what makes them a tremendous feature because it gives you this ability on both Facebook and Instagram to remain top of mind and top of feed. So people can actually connect with you more, see you more, you're top of mind. The new little note feature, they're inside of Messenger and your Facebook profile, as well as on Instagram. It's in your Instagram DMs and then on your profile. So let's see, this is my, yeah, so the note, okay, I don't have a note right now. And you see how live always gives you predominance. I don't have a wee note there, but maybe it's only going to show on mobile. So great features, a lot of different ways that you can just tap in and real simple and easy ways to connect with your audience, your followers, and just let them know what you're up to. So then on the Instagram side, there's not so many places or, account options. You either got one of three accounts, or maybe you have like, what did they call it? The kids call it the Insta, Rinsta, Finsta. Fake Instagram, the real Instagram. I don't know. I don't have time for all that. I just do one account. So, and then on the types of posts, though, we've got a lot of different options. You got your reel or your photo or your carousel. Carousels can work quite well on Instagram. You can have up to 20 frames. I saw somewhere something go by that they're even thinking of adding more, which is ridiculous. I think 20 is plenty. They just recently moved it from 10 to 20. All videos on Instagram are now reels, and all videos on Facebook are reels. And on Facebook, it doesn't matter how long. You can still do landscape on Facebook, although I think they keep trying to want us to make it vertical portrait. Now then, really new feature on Instagram, which is brilliant, is the repost, right? It's that little kind of like recycle symbol, and it creates a new tab that you can only see on your mobile device of anything you repost. The reason I love this is number one, just like share on Facebook, it gives you an instant way to create content and press a button and send it out to your followers. And you can reshare, repost your own. So you got something that's maybe from a little while ago, weeks or months, and you want to get more mileage out of it, pop it back through and share it with your audience. And so then you've got your stories, those bubbles, they call them little bubbles at the top of the feed. And 24 hours, you can share your content, other people's content, generate new ones. Don't need to put a whole lot of work into your stories. Same thing with a note. And then I put live on Instagram. I think I didn't even include, hang on, did I include live on? Yeah, of course I did. Live, Facebook Live. We kind of glossed over it. I don't know, but a lot of people don't do Facebook Lives as much. I know, Tanya, if you're still with us here. Yeah, Tanya, I really respect the decision that you made. I don't know how long ago it is now, but I think maybe it was when Facebook decided to get rid of recordings after 28 days, unless you download it or whatever. But Tanya predominantly streams on Substack. Am I getting that right? I don't think you do much social streaming. Yeah. Substack and YouTube, of course, of course. YouTube is so funny because I really keep thinking that YouTube, all these years, all these decades, that YouTube is still like this vast, untapped platform that more marketers would do well to take advantage of, myself included. Yeah, Helen says YouTube's so great. And thank you, Hal, commenting on my drawing skills. Hal says a lot of us stopped using the Facebook Live when we were limited by not using the API connect apps like Zoom. Well, in groups for sure. They deprecated the groups API, but you can still like I'm streaming through Restream and Zoom, Restream and Zoom on both my page and profile right now. Oh, I already covered that. So now then, this is what Gary Vee says. Post 10 times a day on seven. He says seven social networks. I don't normally hear him including threads, although I know he's on threads. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, regular feed videos or post videos as well as shorts. And this includes, as well as reels and X or Twitter and even Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat. I stopped using Twitter in 2020. Well, I use it periodically, but it's not the same as it used to be. And I decided not to use TikTok a long time ago. And I keep thinking I'm going to do more LinkedIn. YouTube's my number one that I want to get better at. And then certainly Facebook and Instagram. So watch this. We go here and go 3 to 10 times per day. Is that sustainable for you? If that lights you up and you have the systems and the workflows and the AI tools and the team and whatever, go for it. I think for the vast majority of all of us who do not have a 3,000 person agency, Helen says, no way. Sherry says, no. Tanya says, not sustainable or realistic. I have a life. Amen to that. High five. Yeah. Janet says, no. Hal says, that's a lot because much of the content can be cross shared. Yeah, exactly. Helen says, or you have to have enough videos to repurpose. Or the whole AI thing, jamming out videos created by AI. So, my good friend Austin Armstrong, too. He has got 2 million followers on Facebook. And he's also a proponent of the 10 times a day. And he does a lot of this kind of pose. That's the large text on the background. He just uses a black one. A lot of people do that kind of style, and you'll see he mixes it up a lot. But I know he runs an agency. No, he used to. I think he shut his agency down. He's focused mostly on his video editor, the AI video editor called Syllabi. What is important on social media, definitely short form vertical videos if you can. And I love Descript. Who here uses Descript or maybe Opus Clip or a similar platform to repurpose? Even on your landscape, you can repurpose into these vertical videos. And that will easily make your Facebook and Instagram Reels, your TikToks, YouTube Shorts, or what's a good app is Instagram. It's called Edits by Instagram. That's a really good app and it's free. Just download it and you can create your videos that way. Tanya, you like Opus Clip. She's Opus Clip is fire. Compelling hook. This is probably the number one missing of the vast majority of video content out there. It just doesn't grab people enough. And this is people being your target audience. The compelling hook, the first 3 seconds, it matters most. And this is where AI can really come into its own to help you come up with the ideas for the hooks and to grab people's attention and speak to their pain or their pleasure. Telling stories, snippets of your personal sharing woven throughout your social sharing, social content. Definitely compelling thumbnails. Gary talks about how he has 137 full-time employees devoting to just understanding thumbnails. I think they do more than just Instagram for max organic reach. Maybe entertaining, edutainment. So it's part entertaining and part educational, value adding. Then in terms of consistency, let's say your frequency or consistency is 3 times a week. And that's what's comfortable for you. And that's what lights you up. And that's what you have the workflows and the sustainability for. Beautiful. Stick to it. It's not about fire hosing our audiences with huge volumes of content. I just don't think so. A few more tips for your reels. I would recommend that you take advantage of the new translation tool. It is mind blowing. I shared a screen recording of myself with my Scottish, Canadian, American accent, fluently switching from English to Spanish to Portuguese to Hindi. So all of us have, I'm saying all of us, not everybody has access, but it is in your settings on both your Facebook and your Instagram videos / reels. Same thing now. And so it's actually astounding. It does the lip syncing, voice matching. It totally sounds like you. And Instagram really wants us to try the trial reels. That's where it goes out and finds you a whole audience of nothing but non-followers. Then you can let it just be non-followers, or at some point you come back 24, 48, even 72 hours later and go, wow, this is actually really doing well. Now I'll release it to my audience. Yeah, Heinz German will be coming. This is just the tip of the iceberg. These are new. They had English and Spanish for a few months and then just recently brought in Portuguese and Hindi. Eventually, I would imagine probably going to have every language on the planet. That's a use case of AI that I don't mind at all. And I just trust that the language translation is accurate because I don't want them putting words in my mouth that I'm not really saying, but apparently the language translation is very accurate. And then music, they really want us to use music. So what do we have here? I asked ChatGPT for an old beat up car and a new car. This is the old and new model of a paradigm of marketing and leadership. The old model, I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, is hustle and grind and compete and trample and crush and growth at all costs and numbers and hacks and shortcuts and I just get exhausted and kind of almost gives me the heebie-jeebies just even reading those words. But the new model, my friends, is just this authentic embodiment of what makes you different, what makes you you. Your niche is you. I think it was Gary Vee that said that the other day. I was watching a video. He said, your niche is you, being yourself and allowing others to do the same, honoring our differences and encouraging your audience to trust their decision making process. This is where I bring in the human design system. Do you know almost half the world is not physiologically, biologically designed, genetically imprinted to make spontaneous decisions? They need time. They need to wait out the emotional waves in their solar plexus. Let me sleep on it. Let me get back to you. When do you need to know by? What a beautiful thing if marketers didn't push and pressure and hustle or harass people to sign up. Take your time. If this is correct for you, would you like to join me? That kind of thing. So performance, from performance to presence, authentic marketing is in this new era is about energetic congruence and authenticity. So another quote from me: with masses of AI hype, volumes of social media content, and constant marketing changes or marketing messages, we really need to emphasize this connection, what we're doing here today, relationship building, fostering strong communities more than ever. Now that's a quote I made maybe 1 or 2 years ago. And so then when I saw Tom Bilyeu saying community is the only moat, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Preach it, Tom. So can we really stop this madness? The social media and the AI, the dramatic changes, the cacophony, the intensity, the overwhelm, the noise and the speed, it can feel crazy making. Honestly, friends, I just did a podcast interview this morning and shout out to Amber Vilhauer. And we were talking about like the speed, and what we all can do to navigate this crazy making world, specifically in the marketing and social media world, but the world in general too. And it's going to speed up even more. I think this time next year, it's going to potentially feel even more crazy making. So all the more reason you need to be grounded. You need to just drop into what makes you, you, and what lights you up, what gives you energy, what feels satisfying, what feels energizing, and don't buy into other people's concepts of what's working for them. What we can do is craft this clear, calm strategy for working with today's tech that's authentic to you. So rush through that authentic plan that actually gets results. And yeah, I do have a new program. I've opened the doors to a new program, and I would love to invite you to check it out if it's healthy for you, if it's healthy, if it's a fit for you, if it resonates for you. I've taught tens of thousands of business owners over the last 18 years. I'm in the 19th year now. How to grow on Facebook and Instagram and other platforms. I used to do a lot more with Twitter back in the day and just social media strategy in general. Every time I teach courses, it comes back to the same truth. Organic marketing still works, and especially with this overarching focus on community, on relationships, on genuine, authentic, building those connections and bonds. And in today's world, I was telling you about how, Gary Vee says the interest media. Gary Vee gets all excited because of the fact that never before have we been able to test organic content at scale and then see what's working. What do the algorithms pick up? What is the audience comprised of followers and non-followers? What did they resonate with? Now we can put some ad budget. on the winners. That's why organic marketing has never been more important. It's because of the AI powered algorithms or discovery engine. So when everyone else is chasing these AI gimmicks and automation, real human connection becomes your greatest advantage, my friends. So I got this program here. You are more than welcome to check it out. If you would like to come on in, I call it the seven. It's marysmith.com/FBOMB. And it is the seventh season, the seventh time I've led this program. I'm making it a little bit different this time because I'm weaving in quite a bit of Instagram. It's really important to do both. We'll talk about YouTube and whatnot as well. Oops, have to be careful saying whatnot because that's an app. We won't talk about whatnot. Go listen to Gary Vee if you want to learn whatnot. um, so, my friends, are you ready? I would love to be your guide. It's time to fall back in love with your marketing again. I want to help you to bring back joy and clarity and just genuine human connection that got lost somewhere in all this crazy algorithms. If you want to simplify and amplify and grow your business in an authentic way, come and join me for this program. I would love to see you there. And with that, gosh, yes, we've got time for Q&A. Well, I'm actually at the top of the hour. If you need to go, I totally understand. No worries. But if anybody has a question, I'm happy to answer for you. Let's see. I might have missed some chats. Hal saying, keep the meaning of community human to human in, on, and around social media. That must be the foundation. I know, right? Hal, I totally agree with you. Heating up here. I'm getting so energized by all this. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Tanya. I know you had to just jump off there. Tina says, "Oh, hi, Tina. Long time no see. We had ads that Meta AI served in other languages to English-speaking persons that showed that as their language preference." See, this is where I think that Meta is still working out the kinks, right? They're not quite on top of the game here when it comes to what's uh, what's working and what's not in terms of the language, all that stuff. Yeah, that's wild. Um, yeah, anybody have any questions? Hal's asking, could you talk for a moment about the musts in order to leverage AI and at the same time keep humanity in community? I am going to say, Hal, that I'm not here to tell anyone what their AI musts are. That is going to be up to each individual. I know for me, I'll share what I do. I love using ChatGPT. Sometimes I'll do Meta AI, sometimes Google Gemini, but generally ChatGPT is my go-to, as it is for many, many folks. I love it to be like my second brain, to ideate, to brainstorm, come up with outlines, titles, captions, video scripts, all of that idea generation. I don't do copy and paste. I am going to like read through and whatnot. Now I know that's very surface level because you've also got some intense agentic use where the new browser, right? I've forgotten the name already. What is the name of their new browser? Is it Atlas? Yeah, so OpenAI with their new browser, which, yeah, now you can swap out, thanks, Sherry, yeah, Atlas. Um, you can swap out your Chrome, and now you're going to use OpenAI's Atlas, and it's ChatGPT baked into it, and it's got this agentic mode. Eventually, a lot of people are going to just completely have this to be their everyday norm. You're just going to tell that Atlas and the agents, hey, I need to book a flight from LA to Sydney. Find me the best deal. You know all my preferences. Just go here. You got my credit card. You can just book the details, put it on my calendar, and pack my suitcase for me. Find out what the weather is. Create my calendar. Blah blah blah. So I have no interest in using Atlas as my browser. I'm sorry to say. And Sherry's saying I've been hearing cautions about using Atlas. Be careful what information you share. That's for me. Now everybody's like, oh well, Facebook already has access to everything. Google has access to everything. Yeah, now think about everything that you do in your browser on any given day. You're in your emails, you're in your DMs, you are in your social accounts, you're in your banking, your finance, your investments. I mean, and a lot of people might use different browsers. Like I'll use Firefox for some things, Safari for others. I even have Opera. I probably have 4 or 5 browsers that I will jump between. Generally speaking, my go-to will be Chrome. And so you've got all of these, aspects that you're all these functions and tasks you're doing every day, and you're basically saying to OpenAI, who I don't trust whatsoever, to say, scoop up whatever you want here. Mm-mm. And Helen's asking, can you tell something about using VPN, which stands for, is it virtual private network? What is VPN? It's a way to create privacy, to change where you were shown. Does that work? I don't know enough about that, Helen, to ask that, to answer that, but possibly, maybe. Yeah. Excellent. So, my friends, wonderful being here with you today. If I've missed you, if I missed some questions here, let me see. Oh, Vero says, I use Opus Clip and Submagic. They work great when we combine them for CapCut's magic feature, dynamic editing. Hal says, I had AI train me on the best scroll stopping hooks sorted by topic and genre. Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Carol says, I use ChatGPT and frankly, it does help to speed things up when it comes to blogs and social media captions, newsletters. I always write it up, then I put it to chat. It's chat GPT. You're putting a B, but isn't it P? It's chat GPT, unless you renamed yours to refine and edit again. The thing is, I'm a long time doing this, but I do feel we're being dumbed down. Yeah, I know, I know. Thanks, Sharon. Appreciate you, darling. Okay, well, with that, I think I better wrap up. It was delightful being here with you all. Trying to get myself centered for the Instagram folks. Thanks for tuning in, Instagram. I love you. I'll give you the access to the replay, and anybody on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever else I was streaming. And yeah, if you want to join my program, we are starting next week. Oh, I didn't even tell you a whole bunch about that. Let me just finish up with this. I meant to click through to the page. Yes, I'm going to teach you how to increase your reach, relevance, results, and revenue on Facebook and Instagram without spending money on ads. Organic, unless you really want to. Because I actually do. If I jump down to the what we're going to cover in each section. So start out with what's working today on Facebook and Instagram. You get clarity and a direction for 26. Then class 2, content and community, the heart of organic growth. Class 3 is video and reels mastery, your fast track to visibility. Turn video views into real relationships, right? It's exactly what we were talking about. And then I am going to cover ads, even though it's about organic. I'm going to show you some very simple ways that you can amplify your content and reach the right audience and convert more into leads and sales. So I made it very, very affordable. And we start a week today, November 19th. We go for 4 weeks straight. I've got the times there for you, replays, materials. I got bonuses. And yeah, I'd love to see you there. I've got an upgrade too. There's a couple of upgrades if you want to work with me one-on-one. And the price is only 127. That silly meme that's going around, 6-7. I even made it 2 payments of 6-7 if you want. So love to see you there, my friends. Have a blessed rest of your day. And Denmark's in the house. Thanks, Johnny. Johnny, maybe it's Yanni. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you, Vero. Lovely. You're already in. I love it. Well, we'll see you there next week. Thanks, Hal. Thanks, Mirka. We'll see you in F-Bomb. Thanks, Jennifer. You're so welcome, my beautiful friends. Yeah, 6-7, exactly. I love it. Okay. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning. We'll see you again soon. Bye, Sherry. Bye, Hal. I have to go stop it on Instagram first, they said, before stopping elsewhere.